Go. Here we are. Not Facebook, sorry, Zoom, Saturday Night Live. March 16th, 2019, I believe, is the date we're using. So here we are again with wonderful souls to inspire each other and support each other in this crazy lifestyle we call MFS. 99% of the people will think we're all lunatics. And that's okay. Everybody has free will. How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
Nice to see you, Steve.
Never felt better. One week into eating, my energy's through the roof.
Still, hey, great. Awesome.
Oh, it's fantastic. I meant that. I've never felt better, ever.
Awesome.
Yeah. Can't wait to get back on the fast, though.
I
much prefer that to eating.
We see so many different experiences, because everybody's at, I don't know if we want to call them levels, but
now, I felt like crap throughout the whole fast. I mean, physically, I know mentally I was fine, but physically I felt like I didn't feel well.
Yeah. When the body's purging,
feel good again.
It's not fun when the body's purging.
Oh no.
But you always come out stronger. That's the beauty.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I embraced it all. There was never an issue with that.
Yeah.
But it is good to feel good again. I gotta admit that.
Somebody, was posting today about their first fast. It was pretty good, and now the second one, they're having all kinds of more challenges. Of course, you're stripping deeper.
Oh yeah.
You start getting into the real nasty stuff, and you just embrace it, enjoy it. We can't compare our fast to what happened in the past. We can only deal with today, now.
Yep.
And it's interesting that how people, go through all the different fasts and try and compare with different things and everything, but all in all, it's always a unique experience. There's no two fasts the same, and there never will be. We can have similarities of things that we feel and so on and so forth, but I've never seen two people go through exact same thing. It's not going to happen.
Question for you. Do you still use all the herbal tinctures when you're eating? Because I still am.
I do sporadically. I don't do it every time I'm eating.
Oh, okay.
You can, but it's the thing about herbs is when you're eating, your body gets used to them pretty quick, and it uses them basically as foods.
Okay.
They're not working at their efficiency that they do while you're fasting. That's why we keep saying when you're on a fast, go all out with herbs. Yep. When you go back to food, you can use them sporadically, occasionally. If you need extra support, use them. But don't stay on them every day when you're eating. Just, I don't recommend it. It's you can if you want, but you're going to get so much out of herbs. The herbs are not doing the work. It's the fasting that's doing the work. The herbs are there to assist and open up those blockages, those obstructive areas. That's all they're doing for us. And they do great when you're fasting. When you're eating, you're only going to get so far.
Okay.
So far. You want to keep buying herbs? Keep buying herbs. They're great.
I've got another. I already got another round, so I got plenty of that for a while.
Yeah. I wouldn't use them every day, Steve. Just go on, 2-3 days here, take a break, a week, go on, like that. Some people,
I'm not eating 7 days. I'm doing 4 and 3. So.
Yeah.
So you're fasting as well, right?
What's that, Rhonda?
Are you also fasting?
I'm eating 4, fasting 3 right now.
That's great. So
Excellent.
I'm following right through that.
Excellent.
I've been searching for this, and this is exactly what I've been looking for. So.
Yeah.
Perfect. And, Yeah, it's nice.
Think about how
I'm
much
not the
health,
same man. I'm not the same man I was 3 months ago. Absolutely not the same person.
think about how much health you saved.
Oh,
People focus on money.
oh,
I was one to never ever ever put a thought to money when I had to
oh no.
for my
God.
health.
No.
I did whatever I had to do, and I spent the money. And even though all that money I spent was a lot of it was
Nonsense.
nonsense.
It costs more. It costs more to eat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No question.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But the fruits are starting to come in from Florida, so the strawberries look pretty. They've been pretty good. So
Awesome.
it's perfect time to. It was a good time for me to break because everything's starting to come in.
You guys getting the jackfruits? Do you grow any jackfruits in Florida by chance?
Well, I'm in Connecticut.
Oh, sorry, you're in Connecticut.
Yeah.
No, we don't grow any of that stuff up here. We get some good summer fruits.
No kidding.
We get summer fruits, but that's not till like August, late July, August. So
same as Toronto area.
yeah, we're not that far apart geographically.
Yeah,
we're warming up. Are you warming up there?
Yeah, it's, this week it's well, today was the first day it got cool again, a little bit of snow, but we've been warming up.
Yeah, it's
good.
melting.
Yeah,
we've hit the 50, 61 day, so it's here. It's knocking on the door finally.
Spring's around the corner. Like we've was it about maybe about 5-6 years ago, maybe a little more, we started seeing some jackfruits coming from Mexico, where before they were only coming from Thailand, and they were really expensive.
Oh, I bought one. It was 53 US.
Yeah. But the jackfruits from that area, the Thailand and stuff is now they'd probably be like $7, $8 a pound, and we don't see them too much anymore. Now we get the Mexican ones for anywhere from $1, $1.50 a pound. Big difference. You can get a small jackfruit for $15, $20. Durians now, they used to be $4, $5 a pound. Now they're like $7, $8 a pound.
Crazy.
The prices have gone bananas. They've gone crazy. Like
I grow all my own vegetables, so I don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, when I was doing a lot of greens, I used to grow mostly sprouts, and that would be my staple for greens. Sprouts are pennies to grow them.
And they're very delicious.
Yeah, and I was growing them in ocean water, so they were very, very satisfying. Stuff you buy in the stores, you eat and you eat and you eat, and there's no signals. You keep eating. There's no energy in them.
Big farm.
Yeah, well, this is what we've all wanted. Otherwise, we wouldn't have it, right? We're supporting these systems, as I'm talking about. The masses in general. We're supporting exactly what we're getting, and the only time it's going to change is when we stop supporting and start supporting things that we really want.
We are changing slowly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'm starting to get inquiries from friends about what I've done. No more ridicule. It's really turned. It's interesting. It really turned.
Yeah, because they're seeing the change.
They're seeing the results.
Yeah.
The change is just incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, holistically, not just the physical, because the weight loss, I've gained a little back, maybe 8 pounds, right where I wanted to be weight-wise anyway.
Yeah, but the weight is
just the demeanor. I mean, just a different person.
You cannot go through, several weeks of fasting and not change.
No, you cannot.
It's not,
so much deeper spiritually.
Yeah. Like people can decide to go back to their old ways, and they'll get there, whatever long it takes them, a year or two. But
you remember.
You'll never forget that. Yeah.
Even if you
always remember that experience, and it'll always be in the back of your mind there.
Well, I hope it's for me. I'm hoping it stays in the forefront. I don't ever plan on going back.
Amazing.
Not too bad for about 75 days.
It's a long fast. It's a long. Over 2 months?
62 days fast, I think a week out. So it's about 70 days since I started.
Mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great.
Makes a big shift in our whole psyche when we give the digestive system those long breaks.
Yeah.
The doing being
And it's working so much more efficiently now. The whole body is working so much more efficiently.
yeah. Bowels moving.
Yeah, absolutely. All on their own. Took a couple of days, little assist, and then it just started kicking and everything's working as probably best it's ever had.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, staying clean. I overate one day and I paid the price, but I overate well. I mean, it's all
Right.
good stuff I ate.
But still, you feel it, right?
Huh?
You still feel it, even though it's eating.
Oh, yeah, I was sick. It's like, what did I just do? I need to go back on the fast.
Yeah, we always know the resets, right? That's why we live the lifestyle, continuously, the daily, weekly, monthly, blah, 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 blah.
Well, there's still a big, big learning curve, even though,
You have learned so much.
how to eat less.
It's
not even on the fasting days, but eat less on the eating days. That's the challenge for me.
It's where everybody has the challenge to master that. The fasting part, most people don't have a challenge with it.
It's simpler.
Yeah.
Much simpler.
The fruit.
I haven't eaten anything bad. It's just fruits and vegetables. So that's a change. That's a huge change.
Yeah.
But you can still overeat.
Yeah. Yeah. Myself coming from an Italian background, food and more food. If you've ever been to an Italian wedding, you know what I'm talking about. It's you go to somebody's house to eat. It get almost to that state. It's just some people more than others. Man, oh man, my children's grandparents used to go to their place in Italy, and my goodness, they have all kinds of fruit trees and vegetables they grow. But you go there, and as soon as you arrive, man, food starts coming to the table, and it doesn't stop.
I think that's everywhere now. It's crazy. This morning we were out at a event with kids, a kids competition, and it was everybody arrived there at like 7:45 in the morning, and people were eating chips in front of me. I could smell it on their breath, the cheddar sour cream flavored chips.
Yum.
It was so memorable. I'm like, I was watching the chips go into her mouth and the crunch and the smell. I'm like, and then I smelled fried chicken too at that time in the morning.
Wow.
And and then there was somebody around me who was morbidly obese, who could barely get up in the bleachers, and she had brought all this huge bag of food and started, and then the athlete children are very large as well. It's not like you're looking at lean athletes as kids even.
That's scary, isn't it?
So it's like there's no escape. You just see it everywhere.
Yeah, some places more than others. Like I was in Georgia many years ago. I remember there's a lot of obese people.
Yeah, that's
a lot of restaurants were all you can eat everywhere, all over the place.
There's a Kentucky Fried Chicken that's all you can eat here too.
I know. I saw that once in Florida. I was amazed. I mean, KFC, all you can eat. Yeah, buffet. That was very interesting because it's so heavy. So imagine a buffet of extremely heavy food.
And it's mostly fried.
Yeah.
There was a case of, I can't remember what restaurant, but somebody was there at all you can eat, and the guy was kicked out, and then he put a lawsuit because he went against the sign or whatever, and the guy was there for hours.
Wow.
I don't remember how long, and then he was suing in the restaurant because he couldn't get his fill. Like, oh man.
But when you're addicted, nothing,
No.
You're addicted. You can't think really properly.
Bottomless pits.
It's the same for all of us, wherever you are in the world. But the more junk we eat, the more addicted we will be.
Yes.
It's more addictive for sure.
It's fascinating because I feel that now I recognize it doesn't even have to be just junk that you're addicted to. And it's the addiction to stimulation and to the habit and
Feeling full.
yeah, and people who are going back to things like gourmet raw and putting olive oil and adding in the nuts and the seeds and
Avocados.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then to some extent, you could say that it's just like, just overeating on mucusless foods even because you're moving away from your fasted state.
Yep.
I would rather go for sweet potatoes over nuts and seeds and avocados. I believe they are healthier, less harmful.
Yeah.
There's many better choices we could make. Foods are addictive, that's for sure.
All of them.
Well, I've been trying to figure this out. Aren't we? We're so addicted in the sense that we're trained to eat throughout the day and to just keep going, like always just keep burying and keep putting in the fullness. And so that pattern over time, is established, and we're used to a certain level of stimulation, a certain level of heaviness. And how do you unwind that after 40 years of it? That's
Day at a time.
Emotions.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel, when we are full, the body is busy. It doesn't have to deal with the emotions. So when we're imbalanced emotionally, this heavy feeling is helpful in a way to keep us busy from dealing with our emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy food, overeating.
Yeah.
Imbalanced states from your environments, they will affect you big time.
Yeah,
for sure.
Loved ones and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said last time, if you want to heal, go out in the wilderness by yourself and fast. And don't come back. You'll heal.
Okay,
You'll heal. I guarantee.
I think I believe it's very important for us to see food as pleasure, nothing more, nothing less. So enjoy it when you eat. Do your best not to overeat. Do your best with making the best choices when it comes to eating, raw fruits and vegetables, maybe cooked, just keep it cleaner and cleaner. But, I would say fasting, is our staple. It's best to make it the staple. And then eating fruits, like eating super clean, sometimes for pleasure, just for pleasure, not for nutrition or because we need it, but for pleasure. Yeah. I'm going to eat tomorrow. Yeah. I'm thinking master fast weekly, and we'll go shopping tomorrow morning, buy some stuff. I think it's also better. I used to shop on Saturday for Sunday, and I think it was a little bit too much to think about the food. You buy the food and it's too much emotions and interaction with the food. I think it's better to just buy it on the same day you're gonna eat it. This way you don't have to think about it too much. It was too much for me, thinking about Sunday, looking forward to Sunday. Now, at least, yes, I look forward to Sunday, but I don't know what I'm going to eat, which is great, So I don't attach too much to it. Yeah. But
food is all over. I'm shopping for my mother, once, twice a week. I'm always surrounded by food.
Yeah. Now you're fasting.
So we need to have that spark and desire to let go of the misery, pain, and suffering, if we don't have that a true deep desire, we will stay in that state, and we'll keep going back to that state. So the only time the journey will start for you is when you're truly ready, and we've seen that over and over with people. So like we say, people say they're ready and they want to heal, but they don't do the things that is conducive to that. And that's okay. When you're ready, that's when it'll happen. For me, it was a big wake-up call. Um, jumped into fasting, and then I ended up in bed for a couple of years. So it kind of happened. I was ready, but I had to go through a learning lesson right after I started. So it was kind of, unique. Some people wait till they're, almost dead before they start. I had a lot of always, which back then was back pains, which I didn't understand was kidneys. And that's why I started. And many other issues. I was getting colds and flus all the time, and so on and so forth. But it was nothing like severe to knock me down at that time. What knocked me down was the fast, doing a fast without any support or knowledge at that time. Breaking the fast improperly, and so on and so forth. It's very interesting what people are sharing out there in the fasting world. You can see very clearly how little experience there is in fasting world out there and understanding. Livia, Gino, when you ended up in bed, can you explain how you got yourself out of that and your kidneys and adrenals back to healthy? It was many, many, many years of trial errors and experiments, et cetera, et cetera. I've shared my story quite a bit of going down that road. I was seeking help in all sorts of things: chiropractor, acupuncture, different herbalists. I had a quick stunt in the hospital, and when I collapsed one time from severe sciatic nerve. My back was like an S, how much it was out. And the only answers they had was drug me up in surgery. And I said, goodbye, I'm going home. And they go, you're not going to walk again. Are you crazy? Yeah, I'm going home. I'm crazy. Goodbye. So at that time, I called up my wife at the time to come pick me up. Crawling. I was crawling. I could barely crawl. It was so severe. And then it was almost that 2-year period of reading what I could read and trying different things and like all the different alternative things. And everything was treatment based, and you're missing and you're lacking and you're deficient. And it was all the same story that I've been listening to for decades, until the spark of light, plasma gave me the light and gave me the wake up call. And put the lifted the veil on all that nonsense. It's all man-made illusions and opinions of what truly is. To let go of everything. We don't need anything. Your body heals, has everything it needs through soul from source, and only the body can feed, hydrate, build, balance, and heal itself. Through soul from source. That took me decades to understand that. When I started dry fasting was the real big changes. Like I went to 100% raw vegan at the year 2000, January. And I did that for almost a decade. Very, very, very strict raw vegan. And at the end of all that, I couldn't solve my kidney and adrenal issues. I went through a little stunt of cacao, the food of the gods, which completely destroyed my adrenal glands. Couldn't sleep properly anymore. When I woke up, didn't matter how much I slept, no energy, so on and so forth. And then heart issues, challenges. Then I went into the high fats because you're lacking, you're this, that, and the other things. I got into the science. Fruit is all bad. I mean, sugar's all bad. Fruit, et cetera, et cetera. I went into the high-fat stunt for almost 3 years, which almost killed me. And a friend of mine actually passed. His heart just stopped doing that. Looking in microscopes and all the blood, light field, dark field microscopy, and all that stuff. I went through the mineral phase, growing things with ocean water. Yeah, things will grow better when you feed them ocean water, dilute ocean water for sure. You won't eat as much. There's many tests done on cattle and so on and so forth, where they would be pasturing all day on a pasture, and then you feed the grass dilute ocean water, and they're done eating in a couple of hours. They don't eat no more. So that's the difference when you're putting the information, the correct information that the plant can get into itself. So then when the animal eats it, the signal's there, it's done eating. It doesn't need to keep eating that empty lack of information, because that's all we're lacking, is connection to information. And ocean is a very balanced state of the elements. So it's not the calories and vitamins and minerals and amino acids and fats and all that stuff. It's the information that we're lacking. And you can connect to that information by long digestive vacations. That's the amazing revelation, that on no thing, your body will regenerate and find balance. The key is not the fast, like we were talking earlier, is when people go back to eating. It's a big challenge. What to eat? Well, if we remove everything we've learned and look at foods as all obstructive, all the foods, all the diets, and we just use a chart and mark them at different levels of obstructiveness. We've made that spiral because the pyramid is outdated, the food pyramid. It's ridiculous. There's no straight lines in the universe. So why would we use the pyramid? We use a spiral. In the center is your soul, where you have everything available to you, all knowledge, unlimited, limitless, abundant energy. It's limitless, abundant energy. Yesterday, I was, dry fasting for most of the week, and I've been sanding the house all yesterday from morning till night, nonstop. And sometimes it's scary that you have so much energy on no thing. It really is, because the program's running saying it's impossible. I can keep going. I haven't put anything in my body. And this monkey mind things runs in all our minds. It doesn't stop, no matter how many years you've been doing it. So, with all that experience that I went through, the dry fasting is really the big shift for me. After going through many different things, I've experimented with many things. Most things people share, I've went through them: urine therapy, minerals, vitamins, herbs. Herbs while you're eating. You're only gonna get so far. I've done all the different types of treatments I've went through, and so on and so forth. And they're all good tools to use to assist us. Like the Reiki, acupuncture, chiropractor, massage. These are all great tools to assist us, to move us through difficult times, because all we're really missing is love, the plasma love. And sometimes the touch or the energy from somebody else giving you that little bit of love will help bring that little bit of balance that we need. So we use these tools. And herbs are amazing. They don't ask anything in return. So is why we really strongly advocate load up on herbs, as we were talking earlier, while you're fasting, not when you're eating. If you want to use them when you're eating, fine. I do still, sporadically. So that's the short version. The dry fasting is the shift. My first 3-day dry fast was a very tough challenge for me. And even though I've done many fasts, it was very, very tough last day. And then, my first dry fast was 3-day dry fast. Right after that, I got into a schedule. I says, this has got to be a lifestyle. Like I was doing my regular other fasts every season change. I says, this has got to be a lifestyle, because I understood that. So I started doing the dailies, 16, 18 hours a day. I was doing 24 hours a week. And then quickly I went to 36 hours a week. And then I was doing 3 days a month. And then it wasn't long after I did my first 5-day. That was really tough the last couple of days. And then I did a 7-day. And the 7-day, the last couple of days were really tough. Like I remember dragging myself around. But a new revelation came through the dry fasting, where everybody's telling you that you need to rest and all that. And me being me, I says, no, I got to move. I got to move. There's something inside me that says I got to force myself to move, even though I had, and doing the yoga, everything through the dry, and bang, the light went on again. You need to move while you're fasting. Forget about everything we've been taught. You got to rest. Nothing is stagnant in the universe. Everything is in motion continuously. And if anything stopped in the universe, the whole universe would collapse within itself. So we got to move. Yes, there's going to be days that you're really going to have a challenge. And I would still say, do your breath work and see if you can get even a little bit of movement. Because once you start moving, we get that lymph, which is our energy system, moving, and the energy goes up. The blood is always circulating. Why don't we have energy? Sick people, the blood circulating, they don't have energy. You need the lymph to move. And the reason it's not moving is because it's stagnant, full of obstructions. It should be the consistency of water lymph. And it isn't. Look at people, just examples of pimples and stuff popping out of us. These are all through the lymph. It's full of stagnant, we call it waste, but the body doesn't make any waste. That's another thing. So we move. And the big revelation for me was my first day, 12-day dry fast, where my kidneys completely released, and I didn't feel them anymore. First time in many, 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 many decades. And it was an amazing experience. It was the first time I felt that absolutely no desires, zero desires. It hit me at around 8 or 9 days, if I remember, and it was just a total bliss experience. And there was a couple of mornings where I dragged myself out of bed and got myself moving. And I was in Italy at that time, and I was jumping in the cold sea every day from about 7 or 8 days. And it was just an amazing, amazing, amazing experience to jump in, freezing cold water on a dry fast. So a lot's happened in my almost 3 decades of fasting and different diets and so on and so forth. But I can assure you, I've been watching people for many, many years and helping people for many years. Diet's only going to get you so far. You may be good for 5 years, 10 years, and then you're going to be looking for change because there's something missing. And there's never anything missing. It's you've never started to de-obstruct, and that's the revelation. We need to remove obstructions. I don't care what diet you're on. If you're on fasting, good luck. You're only going to go so far. People live through eating McDonald's up to 70, 80, 90 years, believe it or not. Sad diets. It happens. It happens. How? I don't understand, but it does happen. So now the big thing is ketos and Atkins type of paleo diets and so on and so forth. I believe with these, we're going to see the biggest a movement towards states of sickness and imbalances that we've ever seen. And you think it's bad now? If people continue those routes, we're going to see a lot more misery out there. Talk to any colon therapist that works on people and understands what's happening. These people's bowels don't function properly. They're very backed up. They leak a lot. There's problems down there. And we've had quite a few people that their whole GI tract and organs and glands are really messed up from living that lifestyle. Like I said, I was, I did the vegan keto, but still, even though it was plant, it was still destructive to my body because I was on basically fruits and veggies, 100% raw for many years. And then going to keto after that, it literally tore me apart, completely plugged me up. So we had one woman was kind of debating with me about there's healthy fats and so on and so forth. And I go, there's no such thing as healthy fats. And meanwhile, I didn't know she had some cough that she couldn't get rid of. Then she did a massive fast and it cleared up. So, there's a lot of inexperienced people teaching out there. And I kind of cringe, but I have to let it all go because there's a purpose for everything. I don't have all the answers, but I can only speak through my experiences, and that's all I do. And with what we've shared and what we've seen people going through, the people that are actually doing and living the lifestyle are gaining leaps and bounds in their health and well-being. The ones who are complaining, I can assure you they're not living the lifestyle. They're the ones going back to very obstructive foods. And we can't help anybody with that. This is a lifestyle of less is more, and it is a lifestyle. And we master the art of subtraction, which is in short form, Arnold Ehret said it best, V equals P take away O. That formula is the art of subtraction. Once you understand and master that, everything is good to go. Not that you're not going to have any challenges in this society. You're going to have challenges living in a society that's surrounded by food. Thanks. I'll try to find your story. I haven't really heard. This is so inspirational how far along you have come naturally. Goes to show that anything could be healed. Anything, everything is possible. Everything is possible. If somebody's having a challenge with a certain issue, they just got to dig deeper. 4, 5, 6, 10 years, who cares? Just keep digging deeper and allow the balance to come forth. It always goes back to the seed, the emotion. The physical part is the easy stuff. Easy stuff. Read people's posts. You'll understand emotion and seed. Every single post has emotion. And it's difficult sometimes to absorb that information through writing and reading, but it's there. It's there. Watch people's interview, how much emotions. Listen to the miraculous transformations many people have had. This doesn't happen with diet, doesn't happen with food, doesn't happen with minerals, doesn't happen with any of that stuff. It happens through fasting, through prudent fasting. And the dry fast is the key, but if you don't clean out the GI tract, you're pissing in the wind, as they say. And that's what we see a lot of out there. People dry fasting and doing very obstructive diets. And you're going to gain some benefit from those fasts. You're going to gain some benefit, but it's putting the body through a lot of shock back and forth, obstructive to dry, obstructive to dry, obstructive to dry. When you're eating obstructive foods, you dry fast. The dry fast focuses on those obstructions of the foods, not on accessing our blueprint, the perfect blueprint. You clean out the GI tract, then when you're dry fasting, we get access to the perfect blueprint, as I like to call it. And that's where the magic happens. So that's why MFS, we call it the glorified dry fast. When you were bedridden with your kidneys not functioning, could you dry fast then? I didn't understand or know dry fasting back then, but I would do little stunts of going without liquids for long periods or very, very minimal liquids, because if you read Mucusless Diet and Rational Fasting, Arnold Ehret, he talks about the less fluid you drink, the more aggressive the fast. And what do people interpret it? I used to say that, the more dry fasting you do, the more aggressive the fast. And what do people do? They jumped in from no experience, trying to do long dry fast. And what do? They burn themselves out, dry themselves out. They didn't listen to all the things you need to do, get the experience for a couple of years minimum, living the lifestyle before you can get to that state of allowing the body to get into the long dry fast. There's no rush, and you can't rush. You try and do these long dry fasts with a GI tract full of gunk, good luck. You may or may not make it, and there's no reason for us to rush because you can't rush. The soul will work at the speed it can in matter state. In plasma state, everything is instantaneously, but in matter, everything is slowed way down. So even though it's decided and happened in soul, it takes a while for it to materialize in matter state. 9 months for a baby to be developed, right? Everything takes time in physicality, but that's okay. We understand that, so we live it, we love it, and let the decades go by because we're living it and we're loving it. We don't look at the time frame, but we understand that we need a little bit of experience behind us, meaning we need to have a lot of those obstructions cleared out before we can take them to the next levels, if you want to put that. I don't like calling it levels, but in a state where the body could accept to go deeper. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. You're not going to go deep with a body full of gunk. It's not going to happen. You're just going to be forcing it to do things that it's not ready for. It's like an athlete. You're going to go run a marathon first few days, or how long do they train for? Some of them years before they're, doing whatever, a long distance or sprint running. They're training for years. Weightlifters, it's not going to happen overnight. Everything is slowed down in physical realm. And we embrace the time that it takes. So yeah, I didn't really understand what dry fasting was. That was, how long has it been now? What are we in 2019? It's about 5 years approximately. The dry fasting started. But I've been doing regular fasts. I haven't stopped fasting since 1990. Regularly, pretty much every season change. And we're throwing long ones here and there. Day here and there, and no matter what, I was always working with my hands on automobiles, on automated machinery, and machine shop, welding, all that kind of stuff. And there were some difficult days doing fast, working with heavy steels and so on and so forth, but I continued, and I always did it. I hear people complain all the time, how can I do this while I'm working? I don't know, I did it. If you have a job, like one guy was a roofer, if you don't have no experience fasting, you're going to be your first fast on the top of a roof. You better be tied off well, because you could pass out. Everybody's going to have a different experience, but passing out is something that could happen with people. And it's not because you're lacking anything. It has nothing to do with that. Read on Eric's book. It's all in there. It's the body's in that elimination mode, and it gets overwhelmed because the body's trying to remove obstructions, but it can't dispose of them quick enough, and the body gets overwhelmed, and that's where you're feeling the weakness through the toxins, the chemicals, etc., trying to escape. And you can be assured, everybody that's had these fainting, whatever, or dizzy spells, it's always when the body's trying to release and it just can't. So what do? Enema to the rescues. Colonics and so on and so forth. It's always your best line of defense for whether it's physical or emotional challenges that we're going through. Enema. Always. Always, always, always. Who else do we have here? Lattice, Gabriella. I haven't seen you in a while. Margaret, hello. Judith. So, we never made any statements that we have all the knowledge, all the information, but we're leaps and bounds of our scratch of the new understanding, like to call it, from what I've seen in the last 3 decades of this so-called alternative health type of lifestyle, fasting lifestyle. And the more people come through here and live this lifestyle, the more we learn. And that's why we do these calls every week, because we support each other, we inspire each other, and we gain knowledge from that. We're not going to gain it out there. And doing it all on your own, it's challenging. I did it. And, no internet, no nothing. It was a challenge. But I had that strong spark of desire, and I totally believed in fasting from my first fast. I totally believed in it because I've seen what it could do. Even though I ended up in bed for almost 2 years. How many people would keep going? See how stubborn I was and am? I said, no, this is the way. There was that strong spark within me that I knew Arnold Aird was onto something. And I never gave up. No matter what state I was in, I was literally, there was many, 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 many days and weeks of seeing stars and so much pain of my kidneys, adrenals, sciatic nerve, and bladder was on fire. I remember going to one chiropractor, barely crawling in, and he goes, I can't work on you. I go, what do you mean? I've never seen somebody like this. I go, where am I going to go? I think you should go to a doctor. Okay, see you later. I have to laugh because it was an awesome experience to go through all that and come out of it and look back and say, I learned something. I learned something. So a lot of us, are in fear when we go through healing reactions, and it's not fun. I've passed out a few times and stuff, and it's not fun. But when you have the understanding, you really have the understanding. You have that faith and the trust in your soul, because you don't have to trust in me or anybody else. You have to trust in your soul. When you're on a fast, who else are you going to trust? You got to trust in your soul, for your creator. There's nothing else to trust. And if you can't gain that trust, you're not going to live this lifestyle. So that comes through living it and experience many fasts, and you'll gain more and more and more. For example, Lisa is having a big challenge. Let me use you for an example with dry fasting. I think she had challenged to get to 24 hours. And, slowly, surely, we, said just to go into semi-dries and this and that. And eventually she was doing 3-4 days or more she's doing now, So everybody can get to the state, but slow, steady, we'll get there. Give the body the time it needs. Give it the time it needs. It's we can't push a rope. We pull. We pull. We pull ourselves through difficult times, and we use the tools to help us. We embrace, we jump for joy when there's any changes that happen during a fast. It's literally a time to jump for joy, no matter how awful it seems. We don't understand what's going on. Man will never understand. We don't have to understand it, but we know that the soul is doing its divine work in the physical body, because that's what's happening. And if you don't understand that, there will be a time that hopefully you will gain that understanding. It's divine work being done, and embrace it. Use the tools to pull you through. If it's just too overwhelming, we back off with weaker juices, or go to green juices, or we break the fast prudently and we postpone it until we're ready again emotionally, because physically it's not physical, it's emotional. So if the belief system's not there, it's an emotion. There's emotions involved that are holding us back, fear, etc., etc. So, there's no rush, guys. 108 days is all wonderful. I recommend everybody work up to 108 days. But from what we've seen, do I recommend people do 108 days off the bat? Most people aren't ready. To be honest, most people are not ready. And that's okay.
I mean, I think it's a good idea to start with at least 2 to 3 weeks for everybody. And then just to clear the bowels, and then eat clean, and maybe introduce 2 to 3 days of fasting per week.
Yeah, you can start like that.
And then eat clean in between, of course.
We need to have that clear focus on how we're going to exit the fast, which most people lack, and that's the challenge. The 30 to 40 days, most people should be able to handle that, but you still got to have that clear focus out. 30, 40 days is pretty good, but it doesn't go into the deep levels like when you start getting to the 60, 70, 80, 90 days. You're talking a whole different things. When you're consecutively fasting for those long periods, whole different, and you can talk to all the people who've done it. It's a whole different story. 30, 40 days, most people can handle that. But we're going on these, 3.5 months is a long time. And some people have gone longer because you can live on this if you gain the understanding, you trust, and have the faith. So let's be prudent. Let's be wise. Let's I hear people say, oh, I'm listening to my body. I'm going to say, I mentioned this many times, your body's obstructive. It's not giving you the proper information. When you clean out your GI tract, then I'll believe you're listening to your body. And how long does it take to clean the GI tract? Years. Honestly. 108 days, good start. Open the doors. Latris, I'm going to Peru in 4 weeks, but I don't really want to wait to start MFS. What would you suggest? Should I start with less days or wait to do longer? Are you going on vacation? Are you going to live there? For vacations, I've seen very few people being able to successfully fast vacation during their vacation. I think it's best to enjoy the vacation, eat clean. They got good stuff down there, good fruits, and start eating clean. And maybe just do a week now and go down there, enjoy the good fruits and everything. So when you come back, you jump right in board and have everything ready and do it that way.
Even 4 weeks, you can do 4 weeks now if you have everything. Yeah, and then go and break it over there with amazing fruits.
Yeah, you could.
And then come back and do it longer.
Yeah, but when breaking the fast, it's always best to be at home in good environment and have everything you need. That so you have to do extra enemas, so on and so forth. Whatever.
So what you can do is maybe do 2 weeks. If you have everything, and 2 weeks of clean eating. And so when you're there, you're not really breaking your fast. You already broke it. And you just enjoy the food and come back.
There's no right or wrong way. You have to feel comfortable with your decision.
Yeah, of course. We're just telling you from our experience what we believe is best.
Hello, Ranjit has joined us. So, yeah. It's amazing and awesome that we hear you. That we have had so many people share their stories and experiences. 90% fruit already. Okay, I'll stay for a couple of weeks and start back when I return. How long you been raw vegan, Latris? Have you had any fasting experience in the past? Couple of weeks, let's start around 11 months now. Okay. Yeah, sir, you're a newbie. A year is a very short time. You get some cleansing happening on raw vegan, depending on what you're eating. If you didn't have fats, a lot of fats in the diet, if you're having a lot of fats, you're only going to get a little bit of cleaning happening. They really plug us up, leaving the plant-based fats. So follow the newbie protocol, and you're good to go. This is like nothing you've ever experienced, as the people who've gone through will tell you. We've had people that were fruitarians for many years and still plugged up. They're all plugged up because you're eating. I do 48-hour lemon water fast on the weekends, and I 12-hour dry fast at night. Thank you. Yeah, water. It's not something we use in MFS. We have a new understanding about hydration in water. Um, but that's okay. Um, Diane, I notice when I do several enemas a day with MFS, they really make a difference compared to doing just one enema a day. Previously, my herb help days have really helped you. Yep. You have enemas or Kalima board? Because even doing them several times a day, yeah. As we say, anytime you have a challenge, enemas. I don't care if it's 4, 5, 6 times a day. Just um, do the enemas.
Yeah, she says my heart palpitations are really help too. Yes, for sure. When you clean your bowels, you're helping your kidneys, which help your heart, in my opinion.
Well, all this, the stem of the root is the GI tract, so everything's attached to that. As you clear that out, it clears out the other things and the organs and glands and so on and so forth. It's always for the physical, the GI tract.
Yeah, Ranjit, we changed the time last Sunday.
Oh yeah, there's been a time change.
We actually forgot to mention that, right?
Yeah, kind of forgot, slipped my mind.
It was last Sunday. Yeah, I was thinking, where's Ranjit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because yeah, I was getting a bit confused because I'm like thinking, I know it's 10 o'clock my time, and then I thought maybe you've had a season change because I know you got your season change, and I thought, oh, maybe you've gone back to winter time. I wasn't sure. So
Yeah.
did you start? Did you start an hour ago?
No, yeah, it's the time, the season change. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, spring forward an hour.
Last Sunday we changed the time.
In the fall we go back. I don't know what that has to do with anything, but they keep doing it.
It's probably a good thing I wasn't here because I talk too much.
No, nobody talks too much. I want to hear more other people talking.
I think in the States they also changed, so they probably
Most of the places around the world have it. No,
different times. I think Australia. Do you change at all the time?
Yeah, it's different in New South Wales and Victoria. Yeah, they'll be changing last Sunday of the month. So yeah, of March.
soon.
They've changed.
And Italy, I think Europe is also different from Canada.
So we'll be back on the same spread soon.
Yeah, the only thing with Brisbane and Queensland, we don't change at all. We stay the
you
same.
Don't? Okay.
Yeah, so it gets so it gets a bit confusing, but it's all right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, on my iPad, it never changed. On my iPad, when I look at your Toronto time, it was still the same.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, strange.
It's okay. It's still 24 hours a day. Apparently, it's still the same time.
Yeah.
We had to get up earlier. That's not fun.
Has Steve spoken about his break? Has he mentioned how has he spoken about it?
He says he feels better than he ever felt.
Yeah,
he's doing well. Yeah, I was gonna give him a bit of a pre-warning because there's this little bit of I found when I did my break between 35 and maybe 36 and 45 days. The triggers of the hunger, well, you know this, yeah, the triggers of the hungers come back, and they come back in a big way, like they really come back strong. So I was going to give Steve a little bit of pre-warning. I had that.
No, I have no cravings. I'm doing well.
Yeah. First month's great. Yeah, first month's it's fantastic. It's like
amazing.
like you get all this information from the food. It's just it's a great experience for sure. Enjoy the ride.
I said before, during the fast, I did not feel well at all. I mean, the releases I just didn't feel well. A couple of days after the break, I really started. My energy's through the roof today.
Yeah.
So I've never felt this good ever. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and everyone's going well. Even Diane, how's she going? She's going good. Lisa's there. She's still fasting. And who's this lovely lady here? Christine, is it? Can't see. Gabriella, is it? I don't know.
Gabrielle, we haven't seen you in a while. How's it
Yeah.
going?
We have an interview with Gabriella. Did we have an interview? We probably just had a question and answer session. Yeah.
Day 55 today.
Amazing.
Not so. Not so amazing. The last week was a little bit challenging, and I'm thinking to switch to a colon feeding protocol because it's very hard to drink enough, and I have reflux big time. This all fasting I have, and acid and burnings, and and when I don't drink enough, okay, we know what happened. Detox is stronger, and I have one colonic schedule a week, and I bought a Colema board, which makes a big difference. And my therapist told me last time that it was like at the end of the session, I was not ready, with all the junk coming out. And I schedule another one on Monday now. I have like 2 a week next week. And I will have my season change dry fasting next week. So 3 days. So I'm going after that long dry fasting. So I did myself a green juice today to slow the detox. And I have also muscle cramps and at night. And Friday I was at the office, and I felt that I could not raise my my eyes, like I couldn't look up. Was my head something wrong with my head? And I was afraid to that I could faint. Not afraid, but I was maybe.
How many?
Not long dry fast this time. I listened to Urana. So I had like 24 hours a week, and I had my monthly with 48 and 12 hours daily.
Nice. And how much juice?
Well, maximum 2 liters.
Okay.
No, a little bit more in the beginning, but
sometimes less.
Excuse me?
Sometimes you drink less.
Well, yes. Yeah.
But like, how much a day? Sometimes.
1.5 liters lately. I mean, and actually I had, I think 2 days with 1 liter. So that's not good.
How's the eating been in between?
In between fastings? Last year I did another 10 days and 9 days, and I was doing pretty well for a while, except when I was traveling, because it was very hard and to dry fast. When was doing a pilgrimage for 10 days, and with only a backpack with few things with me, so I didn't take my enema bag. But then I've been in China, and it was hot, and I was so thirsty. If the summer, for me, in the summer, it's harder to do the dry fasting. In the winter, it's easier.
Until the body starts hydrating itself.
I don't know why, yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time. But well, last 3 months of the year, I was not keeping my dry fasting schedule, and not eating the best food, and but okay, I knew I was going on master fast, so I said okay.
Yeah. So we want to load up.
Now.
So, how many liters of enemas were you doing per day now?
Now I have a column board, so it's one big. I don't know how many liters.
Yeah. How long did you have it for?
Oh, since the beginning.
Okay.
Maybe a few days I had, but now I was feeling this evening that I have to do another one tomorrow morning because it's not enough anymore. I don't know. It's too much.
Yeah, you can slow down with the juice, with the green juice.
Yeah, one day I said today I will have the green juice, and I will see the weekend, a Sunday and Monday. Then I still have 2 days: Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday dry fasting, and then colonic.
So the colonic you're doing it the day after the dry?
Yeah, of course. It's not the best.
It's good to hydrate. I mean, to drink for
One.
Yeah, like
1 day.
I used to have it as the second day, but is the because my day was changing 1 day later because of the moon phases. I don't know what was. And
how much you're planning to drink when you break your dry before you do the colonic?
When I break my dry?
Yeah, you're doing 3-day dry?
Yeah, and then again,
you're gonna drink 1 liter or something before?
Well, no, I hope more.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will break it, or I switch to a colon feeding protocol.
The colon feeding goes deeper.
Yeah, but I don't have to ingest anything.
We know.
So maybe it will be easier for my
colonic.
Yeah, for my reflux, because I did not have reflux in my life. Really.
I know, but you gotta understand that every fast you start stripping layers like an onion until you get to the center of nothing.
Yeah, I understand.
How long is it gonna take? As long as it takes. So every time we strip, we go down into the deeper filth, I like to say.
Yeah, I remember a feeling of a taste I had a long time ago when I took antibiotics.
Yep.
It was the same, and I didn't eat correctly, and I took antibiotics, because I had to in that time. I didn't know better. And
well, you're stirring that up.
Yeah. And my kidneys were perfect this time. This time it's the stomach and this part,
Yeah, use a little bit of baking soda and get a small, glass of juice.
Mm-hmm.
Just when you need it. Don't overdo it. Just use it when you need it.
Okay, I will do this.
Yeah.
I will do this.
Just like half a teaspoon, put in a small glass, half a glass of juice, break it down and see if that settles it. That should help.
Yeah.
For the colonic, I usually tell my clients who do the master fast and do like 2 or 3 day dry, I tell them not to do the dry like the day off the colonic because not much is gonna come out. It's very dry.
Mm-hmm.
It's best to drink. If you can drink 2 liters or at
least. And after that to do the colonic. Yeah, it's Monday. It's Friday. It's in the afternoon. I might be able to do it. Yeah, because she doesn't work on the weekends, so I have to go on Friday, and she squeezed me in on Monday because usually she needs 2 weeks. You need 2 weeks ahead to book an appointment with her. She's very busy person and very good. very good. She works with sound, with Tibetan bowls, with that hot rocks. You know, she's warming my body, and oh, I like it very much. And it's like my body after a colonic. It's like something it's not there, you know, have been taken away. And it's so funny. I thought about that. Uh, my body is attached to that, you know, in a way, or me, or yeah, it's like, ooh, yeah.
You appreciate the kolimas, I'm
Some,
sure.
some,
I'm sure you
Oh,
appreciate the kolimas.
wow.
Yeah.
some of us don't like letting go of our caca. We want to hold on to it.
Exactly. Me. Look at me.
Everybody, until you do a colonic and a kolima, then you understand. You appreciate it.
Yeah. And I was listening to Ranjit, and when she said that she's is going to do 180 days, I said, "Oh my God,
Daredevil.
it is so good!" And like, I have already made it. You know, it's like when I want that, it's like I have already made it. It's like so great.
Yeah.
She's so inspiring.
As long as the emotions, you're ready for that.
Yes.
That's really what you need to be ready. And the physical, we've seen Marin take it from in wheelchair ready to die to living on it. So we know it's possible. It's just how many are ready to do and be in that state. Very few, very few of the few. One in a million in MassFest. We don't even have a million yet. But everybody could do it if they have the understanding and that true desire. Everything's possible.
Yeah.
Awesome. You're doing great. Don't be worried about the differences from this experience and last experiences. These are all good signs. It's not comfortable having the acid reflux, but it will pass. It will pass. How long will it take? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. But you can help it with baking soda,
Oh yeah.
extra enemas and stuff. So if you want to try the colon feeding for
9 days. How many days is for 9 days? I think.
You go a few days to up to 9 days if you can. It's a lot while you're on a mass fast, but you know, see how
Yeah.
right up. See how you feel.
Okay. Yeah.
If somebody has real challenge with dry fast, either you can go to a semi-dry or you can go to colon feeding. But the colon feeding, you do not want to start a colon feeding in the middle of a dry fast. No, colon feeding, you start with a colon feeding.
Like we said, at least within the first 48 hours of the dry, you want to start washing, right?
What do you mean?
For the colon feeding in the protocol, we said to wash at least within the first 48 hours, not after, of dry.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember?
Okay.
Basically, starting with the colon feeding is the best. You just get in your enemas and
Okay, I see.
If somebody was on 3-day dry and they want a colon feeding, I don't suggest that.
Yeah.
Wash
Yeah.
out at the fast.
Okay. I will do that, or maybe a few days of colon feeding, only to see how my reflux is doing. My reflux.
Yeah, let it settle down a bit.
Yeah.
See if your body can pull some of that out, because it's definitely, if you're tasting old drugs and stuff, you're definitely digging into the deeper layers. People have tasted drugs 30, 40 years prior that they've taken, because the body locks them up.
Yeah.
And the only time body can purge is through fast. I haven't seen anybody be able to purge it with herbs. You can get some stuff the herbs will help purge up to a point, but
while you're eating.
the whole memory and and the depths in that at the cellular level really doesn't happen until you fast. At all levels, physical, mental, emotional. Fasting is where the magic happens. And the only true fast is a dry fast. But we can't dry fast forever until we come to that realization that we can, and whatever. Most of us will not stop eating, and that's okay. We can enjoy eating part-time. Let's Diane. What is a good green juice to make? Any greens, celery, cucumber, spinach.
There is a recipe on the Master Fast.
Yeah.
So I followed that one. And was good. Very good.
I put, I think it's the one, celery, fennel. I love fennel.
Yeah.
And then ginger root, turmeric root, lemon juice. You can put some cayenne powder. I guess that's it. Maybe it's the cucumber.
I put a spinach and parsley too.
Parsley as well, yeah.
Spinach and parsley, yeah.
Parsley for the kidneys.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of stuff we can juice. If you have wild herbs and growing in the area, you can do those too. You know, nettle and so on and so forth. Some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
How's it? Was it your arm that you had the
Numbness.
numbness? Was it you?
Nothing changed. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I had another one. I did the surgery in the same year, another chest, or how you call it? Yeah, and cyst. And that was smaller, but the doctor said, because you are here, you can do blah, 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 blah. Because the hand one was too big, was hurting me. My nerve was starting to be painful. And then it was not successful, the surgery. So, but was not collecting so much, was collecting and like stagnating, you know? What do you know? When I was in China, was going out. It was something coming out, and now it's closing, you know, because it was a small hole there. It remained after the surgery for years.
Years? How long ago was the surgery?
12 years ago. Yeah, maybe, well, 11 and a half. So, but my hand is perfect.
That's the second surgery or the first?
The second.
Okay.
Yeah. So now it's like closing so nice, and not completely yet, but I all the time I'm touching my body in that and nothing, you know, was like, yeah, another thing. Yeah. My friend was telling me, this is because we walk so much. She said, you walked it over you. So much walking. We've been to the Chinese wall, and we walk a lot to see things. We were in an area where you could walk through to see some touristic stuff in Beijing, and it was, but it was so hot. Oh my God, terrible.
Exercise is great.
Yeah. Oh yes. Yeah, and I like walking.
But the effects after, especially long fasts, things keep changing and correcting themselves long after the fast. That's why we say breaking the fast is at least twice as long as a fast. You know, lots of stuff's going on. Like you do 108 days, that's basically a 1 year time of metamorphosis. The fast, and then 6 months of breaking and plus. So it's a 1 year period, which people, most people don't really realize, you know, this is a lifestyle. So lots is going, that's why there's so much emphasis on staying clean after the fast, continuously continue your dry fasting schedules and so on and so forth, so your body can continuously reset and correct itself using the blueprint, not food. Food's not going to correct it. As you guys have seen, food, I don't care what you eat.
How are you doing emotionally and spiritually?
Good. Good.
Yeah, I remember you went through a difficult time.
Yeah.
And it's going well.
Yeah, especially after, let's say, after I did the 1 year mass, was better. Like I felt that something lifted. I don't know what.
It's a difficult time.
Yeah. And I had some challenges with insurances, with banks, with staff, or like my husband was taking care of these things, and but it went well finally. Anyways, it takes so much now to get me angry or something. I am more balanced, more, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Anybody else? Ranji? We can always call on you.
I can talk.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I can go on about lots of stuff. I don't like talking about the physical stuff, as you know, but just to help people, I've been having some really lower womb pain. It comes and goes. And so this morning it was agonizing. So like for half an hour I lay on my bed. But I noticed that my hands, I don't know what it is, but I had at the end of the 108 days where there's this heat that comes from here. And so the soul just said to me, just pop your hands on your stomach. And every time I have a issue or problem, I always hand it to the other dimension. I say, I can't cope with this, so can you please take it? So I did that, and then I put my hands and I rubbed. I did it last night too, and this morning. So I had pain last night, and I just rubbed it. It was really agonising, you know, pain, like I was in severe pain. So I just did that, and then it just goes. Like it just like one moment, it's such a suddenly, like you have it, and then it's just gone.
Trust.
And you go, yeah, trust. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm doing that, and I know why that's going on. And I understand what's happening there. But just going through the process, like we said before, Gino, that you're digging in deeper and deeper layers, and which is interesting. My weight loss is slowed. I'm finding I'm just back to how I was when I left 108 days. I'm back to that level. It's not like massive how it was last time. A lot of the weight came off very, very quickly, but I am smaller, so who knows? So I'm not really concerned either way how that goes. I'll just leave it up to the intelligence and go through that. There's a lot of people, I think, that are hurting at the moment, I feel, who, really want to do MFS and want to fast and want to get through this, and they struggle, and they get caught, I think, in the emotions, and sometimes even in the physical, in the physical stuff and the emotional stuff, and going through that process of letting go, because you've got to let go of everything. It's just like your whole world's got to change, like how you said, Gino, on your Facebook Live. You've got to change everything from A to Z. Everything has to be changed. And I don't know, there's simple exercises people can do to let go. There's so many things. Fasting is one, and then you use your other tools like meditation and all those things. And I just I really cry out for the ones that really want to do this, and it's a step forward. I mean, the fact that they're here and they're stepping forward is just is great, because as you said before, it's not many people do this. There's few that will even fast for a day, let alone, for what we do, like, 40 days, 60 days, 108 days. Some people won't even fast for even 12 hours. So I think it's just incredible, what people are able to achieve and go through, and the challenges they have in their environments and things like that. Like, honestly, gratitude to you, because you're doing really, really well. And but other than that, I'm going really well, having great time in airy fairyland. I'm always pretty much zoned out, and it's really good. So I'm enjoying it. There's no real struggle. It is different. It is different to the first one. It feels different. There's a knowingness there. There's an awareness of things that I've experienced before have come back, and it's definitely wonderful. I love fasting. There's just it's chalk and cheese, absolute chalk and cheese. When you eat, it's a whole different world, a whole different wormhole, a whole different door that's open compared to the one that when you fast, because oh my God, you go out in nature and you feel your skin vibrating and breathing. Like, I'm thinking to myself, do we actually need to breathe? I thought to myself, I was going, this is just amazing. And just surrender into it. And it's just like, gives you more. Like, you go, wow, this is so cool. And Gabriella, 180 days, like, I was like thinking, I didn't realise it is a long time, but it is a long time. But I kind of think I'd rather be crazy in the dimension than be crazy in my mind, because the mind just goes so nuts when you're eating, and it's much more heightened after you've done 108 days, and you go back into it, as you start eating. It's like, it's nuts, and then all of a sudden you would just pulled back into that world, and it's so fast. And so it's much more nice and blissful in the fasting state, and looking forward to my 3-day dry at the end of the month. I'm actually going to do it on the 21st, because they talk about this equinox thing, the 333. I don't even know what it means, but I thought, 21st sounds good, so I'll do my 21st and do my end of the month 3-day dry, and set my intentions again. Always reset my intentions on those 3-day dries. Really, put everything into it. I'm so obsessed. I really am obsessed about this. Like, I've just got everything in my life, prioritised to do this. I'm just obsessed. That's why I get on these Zoom calls, and I'm always on Facebook, and I've got out of groups. I've actually just, I think I told you how I did Toastmasters. I've done that for many, 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 many years, and I'm just not going to renew my membership because that was an attachment. And there's so many things that you change in your life to move forward in order to, to do something like this, because it's such a massive change that it's the best thing, because it affects every other area of your life. It affects, everything, just absolutely everything in a positive way. But you've got to go through your breakthroughs, you've got to go through, if it's a 9-day MFS, get through that first breakthrough and keep moving forward, and believe in yourself and trust yourself and love on yourself, and do all those things in a day that makes you feel good, and just let go of the other garbage. The thing, 99% of things we worry about don't even happen. They don't even happen. Think about in all your life, all the things that are just 99% of them never even happened. So we just focus in that vortex that, you spiral out, as you say. But can I show a simple exercise that somebody can do if they want to let go of something? It's only going to take me about 2 minutes. It came into my soul this morning. Is that if you grab a pen, okay, and it's really easy. And I do this sometimes to let go of things. And you hold your pen out straight out like this. And I hope the people in the recording do this. Think of a really current pain that you've got right now. just really right now what you've got something that's really current, and hold on to that pen as tight as you can with your arm up. Now that pain or that suffering that you're feeling, imagine if you've been suffering that for the last 10, 20 years. So tense it out, and you can actually feel that emotion and that tensity going up your arm, into your shoulders, into your neck, and you can probably start feeling it go down your back and down into your hips. Can you imagine holding on to that particular pain for 10, 20, 30, 40, or even 50 years? And you talk about that suffering over and over again, and you're holding on to it, And you know, the only thing you need to do is you just let go. And just imagine that release that you feel when you've actually just let go. And a majority of the suffering that we have is just very simple stuff, you know, and it's just as easy as just to let go of that particular suffering. And I just do it. I do that. I learned that many years ago, and if there's something that I'm holding on to, I think about that exercise. It's very simple, but that's how simple it is. You know, sometimes things are that simple. And I just wanted to share that, and I hope it helps somebody. That's it from me, Gino. I think Judith's down there. I didn't realise. Hi, Judith. But that's it. If anybody wants to ask me any questions, feel free. I don't mind.
Yeah, Lazarus is saying, I feel obsessed too. That's why I can't wait to start MFS. I'm so grateful. Yeah, it's great to be obsessed with the right thing, really. I think it's good for us to be obsessed with the right thing. Obsessed with fasting, obsessed with prayer. You know, it's nice. It's worth it. It's worth it to be obsessed. Extremely good. Yeah.
All right, we go to silence.
It's good.
The focus is the other thing too, isn't it? You know, when you're obsessed with something, you're just so precision focused on something. Like you consume it, you absorb it, and you immerse yourself into it.
Yeah.
See, I don't understand, do you know something, right? I don't understand if someone really wanted to do they wanted to do 40 days of MFS, right? They bought the herbs, they've got everything, and but however, they're not really living it. Like I just think you've got to immerse yourself. So you've got to be on the Facebook group. You've got to turn off the TV if you're watching it. I know most people don't watch TV, but whatever else is going on, and then you've got to be here. Like I think it's amazing how you offer this, a free service like the Zoom call where we can ask you guys questions. You've got a detox specialist here with Rana and set up the program who's fast, and you've got you that's been like 30 years. Like, I just think I just think that why not take advantage of something like this every week? And then you've got all those interviews there. And so that, I think you've got to live, like what you said, live, breathe it and love it. Like you've got to literally do that 24/7. And don't give up on it. Like do it every day, you know. And I don't think I could do 108 days if I didn't do that. There's just absolutely no way in the world. The paradigm, the mind that comes into it, you know, it's too difficult. The environment's too tough. You know, you're going against, you know, we say riding up the river. You know, you're going against the current. Mm-hmm. You've got to go. Yeah. So I don't understand how if people really want this, you know, you've got to, like we're here anyway, but you know, you've got to live. And it's different to the recording. It is different because the energy and the connection and the love. Like I actually feed off people here and vice versa, and it's a different feeling. Do you know, even I still watch the recording after this. Like this is how obsessed, you want to know about obsession? Let me tell you obsession. Last week we did the Zoom call. I have watched that recording 3 times.
Wow.
3 times. Okay, fair enough. I've moved things around and, you know, whatever, and I've made my time available. But that's how obsessed I am, because how am I going to get through my vision or, you know, the intention that I've done? I've got to show the universe my action towards that intention, because otherwise the soul's just, you know, I'm not going to get that help. And that's the help I need more than anything else. So you've got to put one foot in front of the other and keep going. And even if you, like, I'm so glad Steve's here, because sometimes when you break a fast, I'm sure people go, oh, that's it. Like what you said, it's an event, you know, and back to normal life.
Yeah. Without the support system, I don't see people sticking with it. They've shown us. They're gone. We don't see them anymore.
Yeah, I'm happy to see Steve here, because it is a tough time when you break your fast. It's not the same, and it's good to have your support. Yeah.
Just don't let anyone take this away from you. Just don't let anything or anyone. You deserve this more than anybody does. If you want this freedom, it is real freedom. You know, you feel the freedom. I'm very passionate about it, as you can tell. I totally have forgotten all the science stuff that I learned about fasting. It's all gone. I don't know about those words anymore.
You feel it. When you feel it, nobody, like, it doesn't matter if even if somebody has a PhD on detoxification and fasting, it will not change your mind about what you're doing right now, because you feel it. Nothing can change your mind or convince you otherwise that it's bad for you or this or that, you know.
Well, as we were talking earlier, people go through these scary situations. They don't have an understanding. They get scared and they never fast again. That's, you know, they're listening to their body. No, they're not listening to their body. They're listening to all those obstructions. It's a big difference.
Yeah.
So that's why we say that the understanding comes through decades of experiences, really. A few fasts, yeah, you're going to have a little taste, but once you do it over and over and over, it gets reinforced. It gets reinforced. The obsession gets deeper and deeper and deeper. It truly does. That's why I'm still here. Almost, 3 decades later, I'm still here, because there is that obsession for fasting. And the obsession was, how can we make this more powerful, more safe, more effective? And that obsession is always there. And it doesn't stop. So I haven't seen many people obsessed about fasting.
Yeah.
They have science about fasting. They have whatever about fasting. They don't have the experiences to speak with that. They're speaking from whatever. Some people have to have things written on paper or something from somebody with a PhD saying it for them to believe it, because that's the program running. We all have that program running within us. And to break free from that and trust in your soul is not what's taught out there. So we stick with a support group of people that are wanting to be more than they've ever been, wanting that taste of that freedom, and have that slight understanding that fasting is a very powerful way to live your life. Very powerful. And it'll open up avenues in all parts of your life when you live this lifestyle. Judith, hi everyone. If we're not obsessed on MFS, we won't last time because of the environment. Yep. Diane, Ranji, I totally agree. Knowing my heart palpitation related to obstructions, and when I'm at MFS, I am purging. It is a whole new understanding of why my heart is speaking to me. My heart gets irritated. I can feel it. Yep. It all comes to the surface, all weaknesses. And we can either put a blame on the fast is causing it or whatever, or we can understand that these weaknesses are coming to the surface to find resolution so your body can regenerate. because the resolution comes from the emotion, not in the physical. The physical we go through to access the emotion. Physical is the easy part. Heart, what comes first thing? When anybody has something happening here, pains, whatever. First thing that comes is that monkey mind about fear. Something's missing, you're deficient, you're blah, 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 you gotta eat, whatever. You gotta go to the doctor. That's first things that come to the mind. They still come to my mind. And I just say, shut up. We've been at this for 30 years. You're still going?
Yeah, but when you're inexperienced, it's a little bit scary.
I know, but it still happens. I'm just saying, for me, it still happens. That doesn't go away. It's the program is running. We're interacting with all these people's programs around this whole globe, all these energies. We can't let it go. We can only tame it and, put it in its place. What do they say? When you go meditate, put your mind in a box. It'll be there when you're waiting, when you come back out. This is just like anything. You have to work at it every single day. You want to be a top athlete, you're going to be practicing almost every single day. You're going to have a few days rest, whatever. You're going to be at it all the time, or you're not going to make it, because the other guy's going to be doing it every day. So if you're not doing it prudently, you're not going to make it. And with exercise, there is rest periods, which is a very important time. And the rest period is for the body to regenerate. But if you're living a fasting lifestyle, that period is shortened up dramatically. Your body can regenerate much faster if you're living a fasting lifestyle, because it's not going to regenerate with food. Show me where it's happening. You're only going to see limited things happening with diets. And we are gone beyond that because we have a new understanding, and the possibilities are endless and limitless. If you trust, you just got to have that trust. And that's all we need to work on. So we have a support system so we can bounce things back with each other, inspire each other, support each other. Where else would I want to be? Seriously, where else would I want to be? Out there being, what's the word I'm looking for? Enticed and, to do this, that, and the other thing, and to eat this, that, and the other thing, and drink this, that. Yeah, okay, we do some social stuff, but we limit it, because the more you're around that, the more you're going to be drawn to it, and the more you're going to end up doing it. Really, if that's the lifestyle you want, forget about fasting. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's not for you. It's okay. Misery, pain, and suffering is what most people choose, and it's okay that this is not for you. This is for the very few of the very few. It's the elite of the elite of athletes. Let's look at it that way. And it's possible for everyone who puts in the time and effort to make it happen. It's not going to happen because you're gifted. It's going to happen because you put the work behind it. Just like all the successful businesses. Most of these people failed many, many, many times before they were successful. It's part of the journey. They never failed. It was just part of the journey. I use the word fail because that's what we relate to, but it's just all part of the journey, falling down. So we keep supporting and inspiring each other, and we learn something on every call. Every call we learn something new, and it's awesome and amazing to stay connected with that. As we said earlier, there's a spiritual solution to every problem. Ask the questions. And the more you fast, the more that you will ask the correct questions. And when you ask the correct questions, the answers will show up. You will see that. As soon as you're not even finished answering the question in your mind, and then you see the answers popping up. I've seen this happen hundreds of times. And others have experienced these things too. So we can call it whatever we want to call it, but this information came through because of all that fasting. It didn't come through because I just read a book. I read the book was what sparked me and enticed me to want to find out more. And then the fasting was the revelations over decades of practicing it. Not practice, but actually doing it. The word practice is a strange word. People, they have practices. We don't practice on anybody. We do it. So yeah, there's anybody can do this. Anybody. I've seen people that I never would a million years believe they would do it, and they did it. And I'm going, my goodness, anybody can do this. Anybody can do it. That has that little spark of obsession to this kind of lifestyle and freedom.
I remember you said to me, right, one of the messages I sent to you right at the beginning, you go, oh, very few people do this. Very few people, oh, focus, Ranji. And I remember you said it, and I thought, I actually got a little bit, I am sometimes can be competitive. And I went, oh, I can do this. It's like, don't tell me I can't do this because I really want this and I'm really ready. And like, it was really good, like I'm going, but I never believed you anyway. I never believed the few of you do this. I actually thought anyone come to the group, at least jump in and give it a go. And then you realise that, yeah, it's such an emotional struggle. I had no concept of. I just thought, when you make a decision and you really want something, you just go for it. You just go for it, and it's your life, and once you just do it. Like I just never knew the strong emotional stuff that many people have to struggle with. It's huge.
Yeah, excuses are a dime a dozen, but find the reasons why you want to be happy, healthy, and pain-free and thriving. Find the reasons why you want that, because I can assure you not everybody does. And you want the proof? Look out there. Go in people's homes and go in their medicine cabinets. Most people are on pharmaceutical drugs. And I've never seen anybody thriving on pharmaceutical drugs. They're taking drugs because why? Because there's something that is not correct with them. Otherwise, why are they taking pharmaceutical drugs? Unless they're doing recreational, it's still the same reason, really. There's something lacking, and they're trying to mask something, a true emotion that's come to the surface. So the emotional part is really the focus of what MFS is about. The plasma love, plasma love always flowing, as I like to put it. We tap into that, and we ride that wave, and we continue to have that elegant dance amongst the stars, and we master, becoming that through the art of subtraction. I love that. It's we master that art little by little. It's not going to happen overnight. All masters take many, many, many years to become masters. I cringe at people teaching stuff they don't have no experience. I just say, okay, whatever. There's a purpose for that. People to be led astray, I guess. I don't see a reason for it, but in the higher order of things, I guess there is, because it wouldn't be happening if there wasn't. So, like look what happened in New Zealand. Some wacko goes out massacring people. Like, what's inside a head? More than likely they're on pharmaceutical drugs, and if they're not, their diet ain't good. I can assure you. There's a lot of imbalances there, lineage of imbalances, probably family members, whatever, their upbringing, challenges. You can all trace that back when these crazy things happen. Going to kill people who are praying to our divine creator. I don't know. I can't find an understanding for that myself, or a reason for it. There's I just don't know. I don't have any words. Uh, let's set a moment aside, and we elevate those souls that lost their lives to peace, balance, correct conduct throughout all the universes for perpetuity, and may they find balance. For the guys doing this crazy thing, we elevate their souls even more, that one day they may see what they have done, and you can't infringe your ideals on anybody else. That's doesn't work in the universes. Does not work.
And we love our New Zealand neighbours. We really love them. So, you know, just in case they'll be listening, we really love them. That's a tragedy, you know, it's just awful for them in that community. Christchurch has gone through so much, with earthquakes and all sorts of things. It's just a real tragedy.
A month ago was a bombing in Philippines in a church. It's just like, what are you hearing all these things going on? My goodness gracious. Can't people just be in love and peace with each other? Like, it's so much less effort than hating. Like, I don't know. You know, I'm not saying I've had a perfect life. You know, I'm not proud of things I've went through in my life, but eventually you come to the understanding. Being, you know, kind and in peace is much nicer, easier way of life. You know, let's look at the plant kingdom. What do? The animal kingdom, you know, the animal kingdom is a bit challenging for people to have the understanding that I see it as a reflection of man's emotion. That's why they kill and eat each other. That's what I see. The day that man stops killing each other, the lamb will lay with the lion. You know, that's my belief. Until that happens, that day comes, it ain't going to happen. So, at the plant kingdom, just look how wonderful it is. In peace, there to serve, you know, and that's it. That's really what we're here for, to be in service to each other, so we can all find balance and thrive. It's a much nicer life. It's just tough, you know, reading these things all the time. It's like, my goodness, what's next? Like, I don't know. Talk about
It is tough, I think, you know, because that's going on in the world. So those thoughts and things, they really entrap you. You know, you get sucked in. But I always have this thing where I know, like the yin and the yang, because you know, we are in duality in some way in this physical realm. That if that stuff's going on over there, there's an equal, like you said, you know, it always brings it back to balance. Do you know? Then there must be the other stuff going on as well that brings that back. It just brings it back to balance out. And sometimes souls move over to the other side so that it can bring the balance back for every, you know, for whatever reason that it is. I don't know the reason, but anyway, for whatever that is, and all these great people that lived before us and passed over, you know, there's so many of them, and you just go, you know, that's just incredible. And they, you know, it's all for us. And that's why I always think about fasting. I fasted for myself first, you know, for spiritual and awareness and connection, and to get connected there, but I no longer fast for me anymore. I don't even, and that's a whole different perspective of when you're cleaning out the GI tract and letting the light come through, and you feel the heart love that goes out, because you think, well, at least there's one thing I know that I can do, you know, that I can do in my physical body, that I can give out to the planet. There's something, you know, that happens, and fasting is is a way, and MFS teaches you how to do it safely, you know, with the support and the encouragement and the love and the, you know, what we feel here. You don't get that anywhere else. I don't think, you know, you can. I don't know. Like, just the way the system's set up. So, you know, always think if someone hasn't got a mission or they don't know what their purpose is or something, do this. Don't do it for yourself. And then if you realise you're doing it for the planet or other people, then it's just a whole different ball game. It's a whole, not about you, not about your ego, not about your mind, not about all the stuff that we worry about, the little things that happen in our lives, or there could be big things as well, you know, traumatic events that happen, and then they all pass, you know. It's like the cloud passing in the sky. They eventually pass, and then you go, why did I put my, put my body through that pain? You know, let it strategize and let things just pass by if there's pain and suffering going on. I'm preaching. Sorry.
Absolutely great.
You know, this is why we're here. You know, we be the change you want to see. That's why we're here every weekend. I don't see. I didn't have the pleasure of having this luxury of having a support system in all those years. I was led astray, and they took my money many times. So I should be charging $9,000 a head, and it would be cheap to what I spent to learn this stuff. Cheap, you'd get a amazing deal. Over $250,000 easily I've spent in all these years, easily, on finding my way. And being led astray was part of it, because I learned from that. So when I see people putting up obstacles in front of themselves, they're just not ready. For this info that we've shared is priceless. There's nothing out there that comes close to what MFS has done for the detoxification world.
And it's priceless because it helps us in so many different ways, in pretty much every way of life. And we can't put a price to that. It really does help us in everything. You love your job, you'll do a better job at your job, when you're fasting. You have like emotional imbalances, they start balancing out, and you become a better person. You have negative thoughts, you can clear them up and make them positive thoughts. And it makes you a better person in every single way. So it's a great protocol. Thank God for the master fast. And thank you all for fasting, really. Fasting is an amazing, amazing tool that we have. And thank you all for fasting, because it makes us all better people. It connects us to God. And
it's not easy sometimes.
It's a practice, fasting and clean eating. But the more we fast, the more we connect. And it's just so beautiful. It makes our prayers much deeper and much more meaningful. We don't want to be hating anybody. Nobody wants to hate nobody. Come on. No. God doesn't want us to do that. That's not godly in any way. Let's connect. I see fasting and prayer are the top for sure, for connecting to God and being the best people we can ever be successful at what you do, love what you do, be obsessed with everything you do. Just love it and go for it, really. Just, you love something, go for it. Be obsessed. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for the best. Ranjit, we can't hear you. Hold on.
It's me. I was going to say, Gina, I was on a really good roll there. I was going to say the challenges that you have, they're the best opportunity for your massive breakthrough. So when you have a really big challenge, you've got to say, thank you, God, because this is the opportunity of my massive breakthrough. We've got to have them. It helps us grow, yeah. And people around you too, because like they feel that as well. And so we're actually leaders, and I think, you know, in some ways, pioneers, leaders, and all that.
Well,
Yeah.
like Steve was saying earlier a few times, people were, you know, kind of making fun, this and that. Now they're asking questions. Why? Because the plasma love is flowing.
Yeah, be your best self. Yeah, it will come back to you.
It's I've seen that happen with, you know, over the years, lots of times, and it's wonderful to see the spark of light, you know, affect others. But we can't force anybody to do anything.
Yeah.
So
When they are ready.
when people are ready, they'll do it. Not before. Not before. No matter how many obstacles and challenges, it don't matter. When you're ready, you will do it. Nothing will stand in your way. No excuses.
Yeah.
Because there's a spiritual solution for every problem. Yeah. And all the answers will show up in plain sight when you fast for long periods of time. Long digestive vacations. That's where our answers show up. So with that said, where are we? We're already at 2 hour mark. Life is amazing.
I missed an hour.
Yeah. Boy, oh boy. It's awesome. Awesome.
Is it snowing over there? Has it stopped snowing?
It snowed a bit, but it melted. It's not
too much.
It's not that cold. It was like 1 degree today, Celsius.
Yeah.
So just gave us another taste. Who knows? We may have another snowstorm, and we won't be surprised.
But it looks nice. Yeah, it's starting to look nice. Yeah, more sunny, and it's just beautiful.
And your room's painted there?
This one's done.
Yeah, it looks it.
Yeah.
What is?
Working on the rest of the house, little by little. Yeah. Yesterday it was standing all day from morning till night, you know, and dry. It's not fun when you're in a dry. Even with the masks, dust still gets through. Yeah. But
yeah, that's all right. It's just a challenge.
Yeah.
Rana should be on to you. Rana, you get on to Gina. Hurry up to the house.
I'm feeling the dust all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Look at her.
It's nice. It's nice to enjoy everything we're doing, you know, and I love it, you know. I'm enjoying.
Yeah, it's excellent.
Changing the house and improving it. We would love to have all of you here. Anybody, you're all welcome. When it's less messy. Yeah.
Let's end the recording. Let's see if anybody can help Lisa find some resolution.
Okay, we'll end the recording.
So I'll end the recording. Stop.